Nelson brings up a great point, and the more that I could close down, shut down, and we could, save a lot of expense, I'm there. And that's why we went through the drill a couple years ago. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Morlock. If you remember, we also looked at the Public Finance Committee. They don't even meet. And then I was the one who dissolved the IT committee because I didn't think that they were functionally they weren't functioning what they were created for. So I asked this board to dissolve that. I think that was one of the committee that has been dissolved in the last 3 years that I've been here. Supervisor Nelson.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with Supervisor Morlock, by the way. I mean, this is not a monumental thing that we really have to go out and make drastic change right now. It appears all this stuff is done by contract. I mean, ideas of, hey, the restroom across the street is open now. Nobody disputes that that's a helpful thing. You don't need a joint powers authority to open a restroom, for goodness sake. Our relationships are important. I don't think we should do anything without consulting them first. It's just good to bring this to the attention of those that are here. I do want to make sure if I somehow left the impression that I thought Building 16 would somehow be a good vehicle to use this, I absolutely do not believe that. My point was that it is future projects that it could be used for. Not to suggest anyone was thinking that was a good idea, had it on their plate that they were contemplating that or anything else. It's just a JPA. One of the reasons to keep it around would be that someday we might do something. I think everyone can ascertain by the fact that I brought this up, that's not why I think we ought to keep it. It's just one of the reasons someone opposed might believe that they should keep it. So I don't have any beliefs about Building 16. I don't have any misunderstandings. Just some future board in a future year could use this JPA for that purpose, whether we all agreed with it or not. As far as checking with notes and things, by all means, we are new. We certainly want to lean on all of you for resources, and none of this is personal. There's no reason for it to be. One of the reasons that I understood, Madam Chairman, that there were some misunderstandings was specifically based on your comments at the microphone when this came up. And it was specifically related to the parking revenue. I took them for what they were. I don't dispute them. It's no issue. I just wanted to make sure that we were or were not accurate on some of these things. I got a clarification from the legal standing that parking revenues were not, in fact, tied to this. And that's it. It's not a failure to check facts, and it's no throwing stones in anybody's camp. Parking revenues just aren't related. And, I'd be happy to discuss it further if we need to, but we don't right now.
Actually, Supervisor Nelson, you're right. The parking is related because the authority oversees that understanding with the city of Santa Ana. If we do away with the authority, someone's still going to have to oversee that, whether it is the county staff, this current board, or the city of Santa Ana. And I completely support dissolution of committees. I've dissolved one since I've been here, and Supervisor Morlock was the one who also championed to try to look at all the commissions, and we have looked at some of the commissions. As example, he mentioned arts and the public finance that I recalled, but there were it's one of those items where if it can save us money, I'm very supportive of it. However, moving forward in dissolving this authority, I don't see the financial benefit to our taxpayer, but yet I think causes more problems, especially with our relationship with the city of Santa Ana. And I think that being in their neighborhood, being here, I think it is to our benefit to continue that relationship, because even with the restroom, as we talked about, you're right, we don't need to go to Santa Ana. But if we would like them to share the cost, we do need to go to them. If they want us to share the cost, they have to come to us. around our civic center outside the policing is the responsibility of both. Quite frankly, it is actually the responsibility of the County of Orange. But yet, because we have that joint power of authority, there is an understanding and a relationship that the city bears some of the burden of allowing, of having their officers patrolling our civic center versus the county having to pay more at full cost to protect our employees and the citizens who come here to seek for county services. Supervisor Campbell, if you can also, as we are looking at bringing, if we are going to bring it current, but I think one of the item that brought to our attention back 3 years ago was the different line items that were budgeted. There wasn't an explanation of, because of the infrastructure, we have to fix the fountain. It looks like, oh, we're just building a fountain for X amount of dollars. It's actually the infrastructure underneath, because the piping of it is causing cracks, and it's also ruining not only the buildings like the courthouse and the Santa Ana or county parking lot, but that needs to be explained more, because that's one of the reasons why we looked at it 3 years ago, was the cost to the county building some of these items that then staff came in and explained to us it's actually not for the fountain, it's for the underground infrastructure that is leaking, and it could collapse, say, the parking structure or the court or whatever it is. So I think that would be helpful from the Joint Power Authority or staff to really be more specific in these line items.